Good evening, my good people. How y'all doing today? Thank y'all for tuning in. We got another great show. I told y'all to bring y'all a resource every week, and man, I got another one. So, man, let me see. How can I explain this young lady here? Her mindset and her content is off the chain. Like, she's very conscious. And I like her authenticity and man, she just got a lot of good values when it come to mindset. And I'm like, dang, she dope. And I feel she's a very good resource that y'all need to tap in with. And man, so let her introduce herself because I don't want to mess up her name.
Good evening, everyone. And Larry, thank you for having me.
No problem.
My name is Ana Kevin Reyes. And
Okay.
you had it right the first time.
I
I wasn't
know.
going to mess it up.
I just had to get a little joke in real quick. I had to get one in. Okay. So we got Miss Anna here. She's a mindset coach. She got a lot. You do a lot of things too. Man, that's
Yeah, I
dope.
always
That's
dip
dope.
and
Okay.
dabble in different little things. That's
I
what my kids
see.
always make fun of me with. Like,
Okay.
Mom, what are you doing now?
Right. I see. I said, okay. So let's go back to upbringing. So I see you say you grew up in well, you came here from not no, you moved to Brooklyn, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I
So let's
moved
start
to
with
Brooklyn
okay.
in 1994,
Okay.
and I was 9 years old from
Okay.
the Dominican Republic.
From DR. Okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. So was it like a what was the transition like coming from the Dominican to Brooklyn?
It was tough. I
It
remember I got
was?
here, it was May. So I guess, the school year was almost over.
Okay.
So we couldn't start the school year that year. So it was like summertime. It was really hot. We experienced our first summer in the States. And it didn't really get real until we started school in September. And
Okay.
then that's when I started feeling the stress of having moved from DR to a totally new country because I was mostly around my family, my cousins, so we all spoke Spanish. Now
Yeah.
when I started going to school, first of all, I tell my mom, like, where's my uniform?
Oh.
Right? Because I'm used to going to school in uniform.
Okay.
Whether you go to private school or public school over there, it's just uniform.
Okay.
So she's like, oh no, you go to public school now. You don't wear uniform. I said, we have to wear our clothes. That's weird.
Right.
Okay, so then when I get there, I don't understand no one speaking. I'm like,
Mm.
oh my God.
Wow.
Every day, I think I spent the first year telling my mom, like, just send me back. I don't want to
Wow.
learn this language. I don't want to learn these people.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is mean. Like, they laugh at me when I read.
Mm-hmm.
People push me around. People bully me. Like, I went through a lot.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that's a big adjustment. Wow. Wow. Dang. So yeah, I know. You know what? This is gonna be a good one because I never really heard like anybody like from that side, that side of the story. Like you hear like on our side of bullying, like or making fun of, but dang. So you say just because you was reading and didn't understand the language, you would like get some bullying or people make fun of you.
Yeah. And
Okay.
even, and even because when I came to Brooklyn, I
Okay.
was in a predominantly like West Indian neighborhood. I was in Flatbush.
Yeah.
There was hardly no Hispanics around there at the time. So,
Okay.
a lot of the people thought that I was like Trinidadian or something like that.
Yeah.
And the fact that I was a bit timid when I was younger.
Okay.
Um, girls will like pull on my hair and do like weird things. And I'm like, why? Like, why are you doing that? They would
Right.
push me.
You say, "Wow, don't push you." Hey, so wow, okay. So tell us about growing up. Did you see like entrepreneurship being in your future or no?
Well, I grew up like when I was now that I put it into perspective, my mom always worked in a hair salon. And
Okay.
then after we became adults, she owned a hair salon, right? Like up to this day, she still owns a hair salon.
Mm,
But what we missed, I guess, we never got instructed onto how to run that hair salon.
gotcha. Gotcha.
right? It was always like, come work at the hair salon, not don't learn, not come and learn how to run this place, right? And learn about business. It was never that, you know. So I did experience it. I saw it outside, and I noticed that, you know, a lot of Dominican people do have entrepreneurships, you know, because they established the bodegas and the hair salons and all this stuff, right? So
Yeah.
they do want to make money for themselves, but I think is a certain level of generation, they didn't teach their kids, or either the kids didn't want to learn it, or it wasn't passed forward, you know. So right there is gonna die where it's at, right there.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. So that's what, in between what ages you would say you saw the hair salon? You say you got here about 9, so in between what, 9 and 18?
Yeah, I saw it like my whole entire life. They try
Oh,
to make me learn how to be a hairdresser. I said, I refuse. I don't know how to do this.
yeah.
I don't want to do hair. I only want to do my own hair. Why would I have to do other people's hair? So every time they try to convince me to be a hairdresser, I'm like, no, I don't want to do it.
Wow. You know, little girls, you know, they like playing with the Barbie dolls in the hair.
I like playing with my Barbie dolls and doing my doll's hair, just not a real person.
Right.
I was cool with my Barbies. I didn't stop playing with my Barbies until I was 13.
Okay, gotcha.
And I lie to you not. As soon as I started playing with my Barbies, that's when all hell broke loose. Then I started chasing after boys.
Okay, got you. Dang. So that's the phase. Let me take that down real quick. Play with Barbies till you 21. Okay.
For real.
Got you. Okay. Wow. Oh man, that's strong. Okay, so let's go into your first entrepreneur journey. Was it, well, you got so much stuff down here, but was it like mindset and personal development, or you did something else before that?
No, it was all it was mastering my own personal development and we call them mistakes, right?
Okay.
But I guess roadblocks that we come across because of decisions that we made in our past.
Okay. Gotcha.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I did something. I made a decision in which now it gave me the stigma. I learned so much because it just became lifted, you can say, right? When you're in a space in which you don't know what to do, so you break the law, right? You do illegal things, and now you have a charge on you, right? When they run your name, every time that charge comes up, and you can't get a job,
right?
Nowhere,
right?
I was like, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
I don't want to go back to jail.
Right.
I'm like, criminal activity lasted 90 days.
Okay.
3 days in jail. That's good enough for me. I retire. I'm fine. I didn't like it. I need to do something else.
Okay. Gotcha.
But that decision cost me 10 years.
Mm.
Because I had to pay for that mistake, like in the system for 10 years, which it made me aware of, why a lot of men, right, go in and out of this system, why a lot of people per se go in and out of this system, because it's like you feel stuck. You literally feel stuck. And then the jobs that you can get are so mediocre. Like I had to really go in a space and like humbling my whole entire self.
Yeah.
To tell me, like, I have a degree in respiratory therapy. I went to school. I went to college, I'm educated. Why do I have to work this job? Like, why am I being punished for something that I already paid? Like, I went to jail for 3 days. I was on probation for a year. Why am I still being punished?
Right.
And the system sucks, after you go to the jail or to you do probation, it should just be gone.
Yeah.
Right? It shouldn't keep you.
Right.
And like, it took 10 years for that thing to go away. Wow. So I always had to settle to like work jobs that I wasn't on the books, or even when I came to Georgia here, like do low paying mediocre jobs that they're not gonna want to run your background or anything.
Right. Yeah.
So that was a real reason why I became an entrepreneur, because I was upset. I was crying. I was desperate. I was just like, what am I supposed to do? I don't want to be a criminal. I don't like it.
Yeah.
So then I started learning about building my own business, being a life coach, and how I can make that into my own business. My own life experiences and my own pains, sharing it with people through personal development, right? So that's how it started for me. And now with that, I just tap into different things that I have interest in. If I like it, I keep it. If I don't, I don't.
Deep. That's okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that
You
was
you
pretty
got
much like a life choice that I made that it forced me. Like I was like, so what am I guess I'm gonna have to start my own business.
right. Wow. Okay. Wow. That's strong right there. Cause like you say, it's a lot of men. Like you say, you felt the pain of like, okay, well, I see. So they don't want to give me an opportunity over here. They try. It's like you forced to go back that way, and it's like me for example, like I did some things, but I escaped the system. Okay, you know what I'm saying, by the grace, I escaped it. Um, and I didn't never have to experience it the side that you said you did. But I have like worked in places where I just because I feel like I was black, they wouldn't give me an opportunity. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I had to work, like you say, I had to get in where I fit in. I worked at a place, I call it the jail to this day, because it was like a lot of felons and ex-cons, like you say, men and women. I worked there, and it was just like, man, they, like you said, they just felt like they was trapped. Like, a lot of intelligent people though. They was very intelligent, but it was like they was selling drugs on the job. They was doing all type of plays on the job. And I'm like,
All
hey,
type of
yeah,
stuff. Still.
yeah, they was doing all that. So I'm like, dang. So I'm like, man, why they doing that? Like, you want to go back? Probation coming up to the job. The probation officer. I'm like, dang, that's deep. So I feel you on that. Like, man, they
Yeah.
could
And
they'll
I'm
force you, right? Facts.
yeah, and I always think it's also a matter of looking for a way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And what I learned through that experience is that we have to be willing at a certain part of our lives to do things that we don't like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because in those spaces in which I was doing those jobs that I didn't like to do, I learned so much.
Mm.
So much.
You just,
That's when I started learning. I remember when I was working that first job at Boost Mobile, I learned so much from
mm-hmm.
my manager, my boss. He was Muslim, and he taught
Yeah.
me so much about emotional intelligence. He taught me so much about, like, I learned how to fast and
Mm.
stuff like that. So
Mm.
yeah, I learned so much how to control my temper because
Yeah.
I was very highly emotional and I was dealing with highly emotional people.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to stay composed when a person is giving me
Yeah.
all this negativity based on whatever, right?
Right.
So I grew a lot from that. And then I
Right.
found myself in a space in which I was working with old convicts, old felons. It was like
Mm-hmm.
a second chance job.
Yeah.
And again, I had to learn how to just be so well mannered and put together because first of all, the calls that we're handling, the people are difficult on the phone, and then
Yeah.
the people that you work with are difficult because you're frustrated.
Yeah.
A lot of them, yeah, they're intelligent people, but a lot of them are low level functioning people.
Facts.
So they get upset all the time. Everything is an argument all the time. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Right.
Right. So it was a lot. But again, it was a learning environment in which I think every space in which you find yourself within the trajectory of your life,
Yeah.
it's just where you have to be to grow
Right.
based on the decisions that you made prior.
Okay. Facts. So what are some of the steps that you can, okay, there's people out here, I just feel they scared of the change. They scared of the change. They scared of changing their mindset, because this environment they used to, like you say, family and friends might make fun of them or say they changed and they don't know how to handle that. So what are some of the steps? Just say, give me one good one. One good one. First step that a person should take.
The first step that a person should take when embarking in whatever they want to do is education.
Okay.
Take the time to educate so that you don't have to know everything
Right.
about it, right? But for
Right.
instance, before I went into Torah,
Okay.
I read the information on the platform.
Yeah.
I read it. I took a day or two and I read. I'm like, I don't know everything about it, right?
Yeah.
And when I joined, when I started at first, I made mistakes and mistakes and mistakes and mistakes. And now, by trial and error, and you're doing certain things and you see how certain things work, you get better and better and better.
Right.
I think we're always looking for this magic potion to like success and entrepreneurship. And you have to educate yourself enough that you can get started. And then once you get started, you're going to get good by making those mistakes.
Right.
Because that's how our system learns. We learn by doing and experiencing. Until you experience something and you do it, it's not real.
Yeah.
This is why, like, we can take 20,000 courses and we're not going to be able to build the business.
Mm-hmm.
Because until you start it physically in your system, it's just not going to become real to you.
Right. So you could dream, but if you don't make no effort towards it, it's just a dream, huh?
Yes, and one major thing that I noticed with us is like it's a lack of education.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like things don't work or things suck. It's the
Yeah.
fact that we don't take the time to educate ourselves before we jump into something.
Yeah.
You jump into something totally blind, totally uneducated about whatever field it is that you want to go into. And then
Right.
when it doesn't work or you're straining yourself so hard because, again, you don't have the proper information, now you
Right.
want to deem that thing not workable or whatever. When you see other people being successful in that thing.
Right. Yeah. Because I don't think they stop. I think okay, they get some education. They got that. Now they're gonna further their education. You know. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a doctor. Like a doctor goes to
Yeah.
school,
Right.
right? They get all these books.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not really until they get in there and start cutting people up and start doing, practicing medical practice.
Yeah. Now hold on, cutting people up. Now they go.
No, I'm saying.
I'm just
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
When
Right.
you start like messing
Right.
with people, because medicine is trial and error.
Yeah. For sure.
You know, that's when the doctor starts getting his confidence and he really starts applying and seeing how good he really is. You know.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. But you just scared me, like practicing. Nah.
Yeah, you know, they be doing
Right.
a whole lot of stuff. And that's just with everything. You know, when you start a business, what I've noticed is education. Even when people be like, even stocks, like I've been learning about stocks, right? Like just reading and learning so I can understand this lingo, so I can understand this world that we've never been taught about, even told about, right? But it's like, I don't like to gamble with my money. Well, it's gambling when you don't educate yourself.
Right.
If you take the time to do research on how to read this chart, right?
Yeah.
And how to learn how it goes up and down and where to buy and when to sell.
Yeah.
There's a higher likelihood that you're going to come out winning instead of losing.
Yeah. Now, see, let me ask you right here. See that's so hard for a lot of us to even come into that world, like, because we so clouded with other stuff, like you say, like other people problems. How do you close all that out, everything else? And I want to learn how to do stocks without me answering this phone, everybody calling. My boy want to go to the club. We doing this. Like, how do you close all that out? Like, what steps do you take?
It's difficult. It's super difficult now because of these phones. Everybody got a phone. Like the world right now, it's not even people. The world is majorly suffering from lack of focus.
Facts.
Because of what the phone has done. Yeah. The social media is right here. Like they can't focus on anything because the focus is the phone.
Yeah.
The brain has become totally addicted to social media, to the phone.
Yeah.
And that literally, in order for me to get work done, and I'm guilty of it too. In order for me to get any work done now, I have to put my phone totally in another room. Totally on silent.
Yeah.
If somebody died in between them hours, I find out when I stop.
All right.
That's the only way. Because if I have it next to me, I'm gonna be picking it up. I'll be doing this and doing a whole bunch of nothing. And like, oh my God, this is bad. And I see it in myself.
Right.
That this is terrible. I need therapy. I need phone therapy.
I think that's everybody in America.
And I'm sure, especially with us content creators, people that use social media to have a following and stuff like that,
Yeah.
So I know it's everyone. It's everyone is suffering from the same thing. Finding the time to focus, to put in the information first. It's information and then it's outformation. I don't know where I heard that from. I heard it from somewhere. Right? Because it's true. You read something, you put it in, and then by practicing it, you putting it out. But until you take the time to read the information, learn it, it's not.
That's true. Focus is big, and I go back to myself. Even like, I used to go out a lot, party, this and that. I might pop some bottles, do this. And it was just like I always like want to learn new things. Like I call it trendies. Like I never want to be with the trend. I always want to be like on the opposite side of it. So once I really tapped into like self improvement and seeing things happen that I thought couldn't happen if you just really, like you said, put the work in, read, educate yourself. I'm like, oh no, this is for real. Like, it's a lot of people don't even have hope, like, because they don't see it, they don't believe it. And I think with people, like, just say for some people you grow with or I grow with, they should use us as examples. Like, it's possible, but it's so hard for people to see you in that light. Why is that? Like, they just can't see it. Like, oh, this gotta be, he had to do something crazy for this, or she had to do something crazy. Like, it's like, no.
Because from the beginning of time, we're not taught self-belief.
Mm-hmm.
We're not taught self-strength.
Mm.
We're not taught to be happy for the other person.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
like it's something that I've experienced, and I'm becoming really aware of.
Yeah.
The family unit.
Mm.
That one person that decides to move away and work within the toxicity that they were part of and stuff like that, and now you become the one. Oh, she's trying to be better than everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she this and she that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm supposed to. That's what we're supposed to do. Okay? We're not supposed to stay the same toxic. We're not supposed to keep going through the same things. We're not supposed to be having the same issues in our family unit. Why are we still here?
Mm.
Why are we still here? Because no one wants to have the guts to say the truth. People always want the truth. It's something that I've noticed about the humans. Okay? Everybody wants the truth. But once the truth is delivered, they can't handle it.
Yeah.
Oh, now, whatever part of their accountability is within that truth, they don't want it.
Yeah.
They just want to blame you for your reaction. They just want to blame you for everything that's wrong. They just want to blame you.
Mm-hmm.
And that part right there frustrates me so much with people. The lack of accountability that people have in the exchanges.
Yeah.
I don't care whether you're the victim or whether you're whatever. Nobody is a victim in an exchange of realities, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say even if a woman experiences a terrible man that beats on her, well, you stood there.
Mm.
So where's your responsibility with that?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Like when people, be outside, they live a life of drug dealing, and they kill him. Pow pow. Oh, he was a good guy. He was selling drugs.
Yeah.
And that's what happens with that lifestyle. You know that there's certain things that come
yeah.
with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? And you have to accept those responsibilities and take that as accountability. That's what comes, right? Yeah, he might have been a good person, but his choice of practice led him down that way. Right? Right.
Yeah.
And just like with like, even with family, right? It's like, instead of when you see one of your family members doing better, or whatever, like, ask them how did they do it, instead of you becoming jealous of your family member or sending your family member this, or sitting around and now talking amongst the family. Like, tell me what you gotta tell me when you see me. Don't be talking behind my back, and then when you see me, you want to be smiling in my face.
Right.
So that's why I feel like a lot of families, they don't build this generational wealth. They don't build this mighty, almighty businesses like we've seen of these people who rule the world, right?
Yeah.
Because they can't get out of their own fickering.
Gotcha.
Like, there's a lot of people in my family unit that are gonna miss a lot of blessings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of the way that they're handling themselves and the way that they're handling me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, so we're still here. You know what? I've come to the realization that I have to put all y'all on super timeout.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it becomes really difficult when you're the person that are bringing in awareness, and then you're like, okay, I need to work on this relationship with this person. I need to work on this relationship with this person. But when you're the only one that wants to work on the relationship,
yeah,
that's a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Sure.
And that's with everything. That's with personal relationship. That's with business relationships. You know how hard it is to build like trustworthy relationships in business because people always want to do raunchy stuff.
Woo. I ain't even gonna speak on it, but yes.
You know, like it has been really difficult, like ever since I started this, to just find wholesome, holistic people.
Yeah.
I want to build. Right?
Facts.
And I understand the trajectory, understand what you're trying to build, you know, and be dedicated and stuff like that. It's tough. So when I see that people have it, I be like, yeah, that's what's up.
Right. Facts.
Now that's dope. Like people hate so much on support.
They do.
You're supposed to have support.
Right.
Like the people that are successful is because they have super support.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm like, oh, he had that because he had a mammy and daddy that. They're supposed to.
Right.
That's the way it's supposed to happen.
Right.
We're like the, oh my God, nobody did that for you. That's terrible.
Yeah.
We're the ones that we should be looked at. That's terrible.
Right.
When people have parents that support them and invest in them and show them things and they grow up to be great humans because of that, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yep. That's it. That is.
Not grow so damaged and now you got to work so hard to become a healthy human. And now you have to learn all on your own, all this business, all this everything.
Right. Facts.
You know? So it makes life like a lot more challenging.
Right. Wow. I don't even, that's crazy that I thought the males only go through that, like with the building, but
no.
You know, I even like with this platform, you know, and I'm not mad at all. Like, you know, I had offered some males, you know, to be a guest resource, you know, and I mean, they say they cool. Then some will come up, and I'll be like, dang, like, bro, I can't get none of y'all to get on the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's cool, you know,
but let it be. This is why I don't like these people. But let it be. What's his face? With the good podcast, Sleep is for Suckers.
Yeah, Shan's.
Let it be him.
Right. Right.
Let it be him requesting them on his show. Oh, they going.
Yeah. Yeah.
They ain't even got 2 cents to put in, but they going.
Right.
Just because of the popularity.
Right.
Just because of the reach. Right. Just because of the famous factor that goes along with it. Right. I'm so sick of it.
Yeah.
These people and the status and this and this that.
Yeah.
People don't want to deal with you because you don't want to pay them $1,000 for an hour.
Yeah.
But you're doing this to help people.
Right.
Now, this is the disconnect that I have with the world the world of personal development. If you're really in it for personal development and you're creating all this wealth in other places, why is your personal development so pricey?
Yeah.
I don't care that you think this is you and the value that you have in yourself. But if you really want to help your people, aren't you making money elsewhere?
Right. Yeah.
Aren't you making money elsewhere? Aren't you securing your trusts? And don't you have your investment portfolios and all of this and all of that?
Right.
But you're still charging 5-10 racks.
Yeah.
To people that don't have it. To people that are struggling to pay you. Literally. Right. That's a big problem that I have with the industry that we're in.
Yeah.
If you're really trying to help people, why are you so pricey?
Yeah.
I don't care if you've been doing this for a year or 20 years. This is for the people. You came over here to help people, right? So help people. Yeah, you can charge.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, you got to be so pricey.
All right.
And then you want to tell people to go borrow money.
All right.
To go pay you. To struggle.
Yeah.
And then after the course, they still ain't going to do jack.
Right. Facts.
Because it doesn't happen like that. That has to happen from you. Like you have to get so tired of whatever it is that you get going on your own.
Yep. That's it. And like, you know what? I'm tired of this. It's time to put this
on. Like that happens from within. That happens with yourself. That happens inside. It doesn't matter how much I speak to people and I instill mindset and personal development until that person is tired of their own nonsense.
Yeah, for sure.
Until that person wants to put in the time to build the business. They're not going to.
Yeah.
When the person wants to clean up their credit, that becomes that important to them. It was something that I heard somewhere that said, The only way you make that change is when whatever's happening right now, well, whatever you have to do has a higher reward than what you're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way that a crackhead stops doing crack. When they actually realize that
Mm-hmm.
stop doing crack is better than them continue to be on drugs.
Mm.
When doing this is going to be better than doing that. You have to make that connection with that within your system.
Yeah.
And once that occurs, now you start creating change. Now you start being better.
Facts.
But
Facts.
until that connection doesn't happen, you're not building anything. You're not building your mind. You're not building your emotion. You're not building a business. You're not building healthy relationships. You're not doing nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It all starts with self. And, hold yourself accountable for a lot. Like, as you get older, we can't be dwelling on stuff like, okay, from a kid, like, okay, yeah, stuff happens to everybody. Um, but you gotta make, well, stuff that was out of your control. Okay, I understand that. But when you make a decision, you have to live with it as an adult. Like, you know what you're doing. Oh man, I got a buddy. He always do that, man. I'm like, no, you can't do that. You made this decision. You know what you're dealing with, so live with it. What you gonna do to change it? Change your mindset, and then you will see some different results. You can't keep the same mindset and want different results. That's just what it is.
And you have to change your behavior.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's like you cannot keep hanging out with the same people that do the same nothing and think you're going to get something. Right. How do I educate myself about stocks? I have a friend who's been doing it for the past 2 to 3 years, and he has success in it. Okay? And I spend time, and I'm going to spend more time on the phone with him.
Yeah.
Just talking to him.
Yeah.
For an hour.
Yeah.
Once a week, twice a week, whenever we can squeeze in the time. But make it my business to connect with my friend that knows about this.
Yep. Yeah.
Not call somebody that we're going to sit there for an hour and gossip and talk shit.
Right.
And then I wonder why I still have to work for money.
Yeah.
Oh, people have to really factor that we don't live for very long.
Yeah.
The life expectancy in our world, because we live so full of stress, is between 70 to 80 years old. By the time you reach 40, you're halfway dead.
Yeah, that's it.
And people still thinking that they have time.
Yeah.
Only people that live over 100 years old are people that live like lives that are so non-stressful.
Yep. Yeah.
When you see them sentinels that live like over 100 something years old, you have to see what they've been doing for the last 30 years. Nothing.
Right. Right.
Nothing. Just sitting down, breathing.
Yeah. Right.
Eating barely.
Yeah.
Right. Like life is just calm. Nothing.
Yeah.
And this world of materialism that we're caught up in, if we're not doing something, we're not enough. Yeah. We always have to keep putting out something new and buying this and buying that and staying with this. Ever since I got these cars, I'm like, ugh. The responsibility.
Yeah.
I don't want it. Can I give them back? You know?
Right.
Like everything just got more and more expensive.
Yeah.
And that you can sustain it, but it's like, dang.
Yeah.
It's like the more you have, the more you have to sustain.
For sure. Yeah.
And that's why people always feel like they have to work so hard and keep going and keep going and keep making more millions, because the more money they make, the bigger they want to make their life, and the more stuff they have, to sustain. And it just becomes like a race, another race.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So let's jump into your book. Now, is this your first book, How to Become a Conscious Creator?
Yeah, that's my first book.
Okay. So first off, I got the audio book, and I'm riding, I'm listening, because that's what I do. I ride when I barely, like, I'm a DJ as well, so I hear music all the time. But when I'm riding and like I get that time, I tap in, like personal development, anything. So I'm riding, and I think you had a sale or something you put up. I'm like, let me go ahead and get it real quick. Boom. Got it? And I'm like, Yeah, you had some man. You hit some points in there, and it's a dope book, y'all. Seriously. I'm gonna let her tell y'all where to get it, but you have it right there. You have it.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
the Spanish version. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me get the.
Dope book, y'all. Like man.
Yeah, so it's right here.
Okay. Okay. How to become
And now
a.
you can get it on Amazon by searching my name or searching the title, or on my website. On my website, when people order it from my website, I sign it. You know, people like personalized things,
Right.
so I give them that option because I have books at home and stuff. But yeah, this is my baby. You know,
Hey.
this book came out of a course that I took.
Really? Okay.
And one of the things in the course was that they were going to teach you how the process of how to write your book.
Okay.
And it was between that course and Small Business Expo. I remember that I went to within me being in that course, and it was two different processes that I put together, and then the book came like voila, right? So the book is pretty much like I said, okay, so what did I go through? Like how did I get here? You know?
Right.
So it's pretty much just the 7 areas that I focused when I was really in this space of discovering how to be a better person. Pretty much. And the conflicts that I was having, right? Like with my thoughts. I started, learning about thoughts. Okay, if you control your thoughts more and if you start thinking about certain things, then your life can be better. So I started noticing that it's the things that I think about. Like I be thinking about a lot of negative stuff. Like, what the hell? I'm like, really, I'm like this. So I started focusing more on an affirmation, right? Or just thinking and telling myself, like, I'm happy, I'm happy. Like at first I feel like I was going insane because I've never done that. Right?
Yeah.
And then over time, I started noticing my thought process just started getting more positive on its own. I would start thinking better. I would feel happier, right?
Right.
And then I had an issue with my religion, with my faith, and how to connect with that, right? Okay. Grew up Catholic, right? We know about the Catholic Church. I'm not going to get into that. So I'm not going to offend people's feelings because people are super sensitive these days. But I just had a disconnect with that, Gotcha. Like if there's God there, then how come all these things keep happening? That's just weird. So when I started tapping into, just what I saw spiritualism, I saw brujeria, I saw all type of stuff. I'm a Hispanic, right? I saw prayer. I used to go to church every Sunday. My grandma used to bring all her friends over and pray. And, now everybody with hoodoo and stuff like that. And I'm like, but I grew up like that. So I just started doing things that I saw, that I grew up with, that I resonated with. Right. Lighting candles, burning incense. And then I learned about meditation, right? So then it was my emotional intelligence. I'm the person in my family who says I'm always fighting. It's not that I'm always fighting. I just tell them what it is. Right. And they don't like it. And now I'm become the devil. And I'm the worst person. And I'm like, well, that's what it is. Now you can tell me something about me that's what it is, and it's okay. Right. So I had to really learn, and I still, is a major part of my personal development is my emotional intelligence. Okay. Because I am equally as intense happy as I'm equally as intense angry. My emotions are very big, very big. Like my friends just told me that you wear your heart on your sleeves. I guess, like when I have a problem with something. And I will, and like either you will see it in my physical, or I will tell you verbally. Yeah. like no, I don't like it. Like no. And I became really stern about that because I come from a place in which I was very suppressed. Okay. So I learned how to express my feelings to not feel terrible inside, right? And then it was my relationships. This is the biggest thing for my relationship. The relationship with my mom, relationship with my dad, relationship with my siblings, then relationship that I started building outside of my family unit, with friendships, with men. It was all totally dysfunctional. To this point, I think the only relationship that has gotten super better is the relationship with my kids and the way that I build a relationship with men. Okay. Gotcha. Because I've learned, I've grown, and I just always wanted to be a better mom. Yeah. And then me, to save myself from the suffering of dealing with the opposite sex, I just had to learn because I went through a lot. Yeah. Because nobody told me anything. I was just out here. Yeah. Figuring it out all by myself, right? That's a lot of us. Right. And then your level of gratitude. I learned that I was really ungrateful in certain areas of my life.
Okay.
You know, so I just learned how to say thank you for the things that I do have all the time, all the time, all the time. In wintertime, every time I walk in my house, I stand in my I'm like, oh, thank you. Oh, I have heat.
Yeah.
Like people didn't even say thank you for having water. Back home, people lose water. Okay? Back home, people don't have light. People don't even give thanks at the fact that they can turn on their light switch. Just like that. Back home, that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Back home, people really don't have places that they can go and ask people for food or have a government that give them food stamps. That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And these people want to be over here just throwing everything away. Yeah, America's not perfect, but it's way better.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that come here from their countries because there's no resources back home, and they become super typhoon millionaires.
Yeah.
With all the resources and all the opportunities that people have here.
Yeah.
You know, and then my self-care, just taking care of myself and making sure that whatever situations I put myself in, that I'm not gonna be in a space in which I don't feel well mentally and emotionally. Right? Like I was just talking to this young girl the other day. I mean, the reason why you're feeling bad about having sex with that man is because you don't like him. Okay, that's the reason why you don't like him. There's something, and you keep putting yourself in the space because you want to satisfy him, and now you're doing something that's going against your own spirit, your own body. So now you're feeling bad. If you really was enjoying that person, when you exchange your body with that person, you're gonna feel wonderful.
Right.
You're not gonna feel no type of bad.
Right.
You know?
Gotcha.
And then it's like just understanding that everything is one. Your mind
Yeah.
is one with your emotions and with your physical behavior. If mentally you're not doing well, emotionally you're not gonna doing well. And once you start feeling trashy about yourself, you're gonna start behaving trashy.
Trickle down effect, huh?
Yeah, it's like it's one thing affects the other, the mind, the heart, then the behavior. Once you get all those things to work as one, now you start seeing yourself doing better.
Thanks. You know, I'm glad you just mentioned that. I had took a trip to Jamaica when we went early August, and that was my first time riding like through the town, and I actually seen like it's raining, like these people don't have roofs over their homes, kids out there, you know, it wasn't like here, and I'm like, man, I gotta be more thankful, and like you say, gratitude, like it's crazy.
Every single person in the United States, and even there's places here that are really bad.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, there's places here that are really, really, really terrible.
But
every single person should go someplace in the third world country and see the level of poverty. Like it's different. The level of violence over there. Like over there, like people will come and like shoot you, stab you like dead for food.
Yeah. Yeah.
The survival is that serious.
Yeah. And that just took my mind to another level. I'm like you say, everybody should experience that. Like, that was crazy. Like, I'm looking like, man. And I'm like,
exactly.
Yeah.
And then I just think here in America, there's so much resource. There's so many resources, you know, that people can utilize to build business. And let's say, you know, like you don't want to build business, but we still want to own stuff, because that's something that also I have made a connection with by listening to one of the speakers online. You know, that's like in order for you to own, you necessarily have to own a business. You can own stock. You can own land. You can own real estate. Anything that's going to give you more for your buck once you put your buck in there.
Facts.
You know, you can work your job
that
you want to work with. Make sure you set yourself right. Your 401k, you taking that money and investing it here, taking that money, because the goal is really not so you can get all this money, but for you to be able to sustain yourself to the duration of your life.
Yeah.
And be healthy enough, and if you're sick, you're able to pay for those medical whatever. To not depend on nobody. Your goal is to be completely self-sufficient as you age, as you travel through your life, and be comfortable within that.
Right. How you feel about setting up the next generation? Like, just say, and I've been hearing this a lot. Like, a lot of people like, well, if my kids don't want to follow my footsteps and be an entrepreneur, or do this. Like, do you feel like setting them up financially, would that do them some just do, or you think they should learn A little bit.
I don't know what you just did, but your volume got better.
Did it?
Yep.
Okay. Maybe because I'm talking about this.
But
go ahead.
you know, that's something that I said. I was talking to a friend about the other day, and I'm like, I see how I'm gonna have to parent both my children as far as wealth based on where I was when I had them.
Really? Okay.
Because I'm a totally different person. I was a totally different person from when I had my first one and when I had my second one.
Okay.
And then what I understand now and where they are as people. I have a 19-year-old with a son, and then I have a 13-year-old that lives with her dad, right? My 13-year-old called me the other day and said, I got $500 for my birthday. You need to get a custodial IRA account so I can invest these $200. This is what my 13-year-old called me with.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay. So I called my friend. What is this IRA custodial account thing? Because my gonna just put the pressure on me.
Right. Facts. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's two different generations. You know, my other daughter, she wanna go to school and get a degree and go work, right? Which is cool.
Right.
That's fine because she still hasn't tapped into whatever it is. But now with her, I want her to learn about stocks. I want her to learn about crypto, right? So whatever money she got, she can invest it there. She can invest it there. She can invest it there. You know, my second daughter, she ain't gonna have a job. She don't know. She's not gonna know what that is.
Gotcha.
You know, like from I'm gonna make, you know, have her work with me so she can help me and I become part of the business and all this stuff. You know, it's two totally different mindsets.
It is.
And you can't expect, like, that's why one child sometimes end up helping more of the parents, you know, and carry that legacy, and the other child just doesn't want to.
Right.
That's just not an interest, and it's just two totally different beings. That's something that I was very unfair with my first daughter. I'm like, oh, you have to be more like your sister. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. You can't compare your children. It's two totally different people. Two totally different people. And as I've gotten older, I've learned that. Yeah. You know, like what I'm doing right now with my business, they may not want that. And these parents have to really stop being so butthurt about the fact that their children don't want to do what they're doing. Yeah. You know, the children want to do their own thing. Right. A lot of us, you know, a lot of people build businesses that they're laboring businesses. These kids want to do everything electronic. They're making money online. They're making money with drop shipping. They're making money on the market. They're making money with crypto. Yeah. Forget your labor job. I don't want to do that. Right. They're making money gaming, and you want to be criticizing them. But they're making 5 times what you make.
Just sitting up playing. Don't play that. Why you playing that game so much? I'm making that money.
You know, it's just different mindsets, different generations, you know, and they working. And what I love about these kids is that it's not that they don't like to work. They refuse to do anything that they don't want to do.
Facts. Yeah.
Like a lot of us, we all worked a whole bunch of jobs and like have employers talking to us like trash. You got one time to speak to them crazy because they walking out.
Yeah, they gone.
Now I don't have to deal with this. This is toxic.
Right.
This is a toxic work environment. Right. I'm leaving. I don't have to deal with this. This is not good for my mindset and my spirit.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That's how it is, you know?
Facts. Yeah.
And it's wonderful. So
yeah.
You're gonna be able to instill different things on your children based on how you're educating yourself and based on how where you had them, and the type of things that they're showing you themselves that they're interested in.
Right. Right. That's true. That's so true. Cause I'm tripping. I was actually my buddy had called me to do a DJ gig with him at one of the Amazon plants. So I was like, when he called me, I'm like Amazon. I'm like, you sure? Like at the plane, like yeah. So I go do it with him, and I'm like, dang, this is kind of different. Cause you think of like a warehouse plant, it's get to work, get this productivity out, go. So one of the human resources lady, I end up talking to her. I'm like, so what made y'all, book DJs? She's like, well, we want them to rile up, between breaks and people coming in and coming out. We want them to feel good coming to work. I'm like, oh, that's different. But she was a millennial. She's a human resource. She's about 24? She was about 24, something like that. So, like you say, it's a whole.
She understands the power of music.
There you go.
The power of music.
Yep.
I don't care who you are.
Yep.
Everybody Whether they
Right.
sad, they happy, they in
Uh-huh.
between, they're gonna play a song that's
Uh-huh.
gonna either shift the mood or intensify that mood.
Facts. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
people can be coming from home, they just probably had a fight with their girl, and you
Uh-huh.
playing their favorite song, and right there
Right.
they get turned real
Right.
quick.
Right.
Yeah, maybe like
Right.
5-10 minutes later they're going right back, but
Right. But
they
yeah.
got turned for a little
Right.
bit, and you got them out of that cycle real quick, you know.
Yeah.
And
So
that's what has to happen
yeah.
throughout the entire day. We
Yeah.
have to really keep checking ourselves and checking ourselves and checking ourselves and checking ourselves, because there's so many things, there's so many factors affecting our mindset, affecting our behaviors, affecting how we feel. You know,
Yeah.
look at the state of the world. There's a lot of people with high anxiety right now just because what's happening with the world, not because it even what's happening with their own lives,
Yeah.
but because what's happening with the world.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people are very scared, very anxious,
Mm-hmm.
because they're like, we don't want to take the vaccine. We should take the vaccine. You're a bad person if you don't take the vaccine.
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah. It's
You
really
know, that's another show.
Woo.
So it's you know, it's just
Yeah.
that. I just think we put too much pressures on each other
Mhm.
to even build business.
Yeah.
Not everybody's built to build business.
Nah. I see that.
Okay, so not everybody should be expected to build business.
Yeah.
And stop looking down on people because they want to work their job their 40 years. Let them.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what they want to do.
Right.
Actually, it's way easier than building business.
Oh, most definitely. Right.
You know, but if they live that life and, like I said, set themselves up that they take a lot of their money and invest it, so then when they retire, they got a retirement check and then their other investments, they good.
Yeah.
You know, you decide, you plan your life. Okay, so I don't want to live in the States. I want to go to another country. So then start going to that country, vacation in there.
Yeah.
Because when you get old, I know when I get old, I'm going back to DR because I don't like the cold. I don't like the cold now. I can just imagine when I get old.
Right.
So I'm positioning my life so that I can travel back and forth.
Yeah.
If I want to spend 6 months to a year over there, I can do that.
Yeah.
But that takes planning. That takes, like, really, I asked myself the other day, but when I had to get this job, and I was happy that I got this job because I realized that the monkey was off my back with that mistake that I made.
Uh-huh.
But I was like, you know, I refuse to keep working for money because I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't know about everybody else.
Right.
So I made a promise to myself. I'm like, everything that I do from now on, I'm going to pay my bills. And every little bit of money that I have that's extra, I'm going to put it in the market.
Yeah.
I don't care if the market go up, down, in between, sideways, upside, and blow up tomorrow, and then they put it back together. It's staying there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because people don't understand one thing. Like, the market is a system. It does the same thing. It go up and down, up and down, up and down,
Mhm.
up and down.
Right.
So between that up and down, you're going to have to win.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you win in the market.
Exactly. You know, but it's a matter of being patient. It's a matter of being educated. It's a matter of understanding, like, how the world moves and how the world goes.
For sure. You talk to a lot of the youth, like, speaking to them. What do you see they mindset far as, like, I know they heavy, like, on personal development and stuff nowadays. But you know, they got a bad rep to the media. You know, the youth always doing this. They doing the killing. They doing this, doing that. So do you think they just being misguided in certain areas at home, or what you think?
I mean, I think there's a lot of those
kids,
but I think there's a lot of the other kids too. There's a lot of good kids.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good kids. I want to go to school. There's a lot of good kids. I want to know, like, deep information. I've met a lot of people in their late teens, early 20s that they want to learn about deep spirituality. They want to learn how to meditate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they want to learn about all this stuff. I just think when you see all these killings and all this stuff, don't blame it so much on the people.
Yeah.
Look at the environment.
Yep. Facts.
Again, Bruce Lipton, right? I don't know if you're familiar with Bruce Lipton.
Bruce Lipton? No.
Joe Dispenza. Okay. Bruce Lipton stuff is epigenetics.
Okay.
You become what your environment is.
Yeah.
He was a medical doctor that he used to teach. So the way he started teaching that was he would put different cells in different petri dishes with different environment, with different things going on in them, right? And he saw that depending on whatever he put on there, the cell will behave differently. So boom.
Mm-hmm.
You take, let's say, a child that came from the most marginal, less educated, poor place. All they ever saw was poverty.
Yeah.
5, 9, 10 years. You take that same kid and you throw them in a thriving ass environment.
Mm-hmm.
Watch.
Yeah. The
The
transformation. Huh?
cell has to change
Yeah. Yeah.
because what's surrounding it is no longer the same.
Facts.
So now it has nothing to relate to.
Yep.
So it's going to be forced to become what the environment is.
Yep. Mm.
And that's, that's just that. We
That's
become what our environment is. And that's why a lot of times you have to remove yourself from that space first before you start creating all these other changes.
Yeah.
I think, what you think? If they make these hoods like Chicago, and let's say, a lot of the hostel places in New York, East New York, Brownsville, right? If they make these spaces highly developed environments, right? With still Black people in them, not gentrifying them.
Right.
That's another show.
Yeah.
You will see a better people.
Facts.
Because the environment that you're creating for that people is nurturing.
Facts.
How you gonna put all these weed, all this drugs, all this alcohol, all this debilitating food? Like I was watching a program too on the food that's in our neighborhoods. How is it designed to stimulate your brain so much that it makes you angry, makes you want to fight?
Yeah.
Literally. Literally. I was like,
right.
My God, they have planned this stuff to like, wow, that is genius.
Yeah.
But the way that genius has been utilized was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that is genius.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But the way the intelligence, it's not the intelligence, it's the way the intelligence has been utilized.
Yeah.
That's what's messing us up as a planet, as a being, is the way we use our intelligence, is the way we use the stuff that's supposed to make us better.
Right. Yeah. So, for example, like a kid growing up in one of them toxic environments, whatever, then just say they go to adulthood, like you said, they made these mistakes, then they just say they turn 30 and now they get exposed to something different. Let's say stocks, then they're like, oh, okay. I ain't got to sell the drugs or do this or rob or do all this stuff no more. I can go in and get in the stock market and I can win. How do they try to bring that back to some of their toxic hood? You know what I'm saying? Try to show them this way. But like you say, they ain't going to do it unless it start with them. Yeah.
Listen.
But it's so. Hold on before you say that, because there's so many people that they want to feel like they can help their people.
And absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. I think everybody gets there.
Yeah.
I think everybody gets so excited when they tap into this new thing that you want to bring everybody with you.
Facts.
And then what starts slapping you in your face is that you can't bring nobody with you. And then you're like, oh my God, how ungrateful. Oh my God. But again, you cannot force anybody into change. You cannot force anybody into awareness. You cannot force anybody into wanting more for themselves.
Yeah.
Because one thing about us, our brain and our system is designed to be conformed.
Yeah.
Once it's something different, the level of hardship to that difference, it can be very low. But the fact that it's different and you have to put in some effort for your brain to understand something, it turns them off.
Yeah, for sure.
It's what these habits, right?
Right.
These people are creatures of habit. Right. Definitely. Do something consecutively every day for about 8 days. By the 9th and 10th day, you're going to want it.
Yeah.
You're going to need it. Like, where is it?
All right.
Whether it's a thing, a person, a drug, a substance. Spend 9 days with a person. By the 10th day, you're going to want to, I miss you.
Right. Yeah. Right. Facts. Man, I already knew you was going to tap in all the way. So let's go. I ain't going to hold you too much longer. So I want to talk about your book of affirmations. When did you create that one?
This one came out like in March of this year.
Okay.
And this one came about, people kept asking me, when are you going to write your second book? When are you going to write a second book? And I'm like, what am I going to write my second book about? Like, I don't know. And then one weekend, I was super angry. And I sat here from Friday night until Sunday night. And that anger became this book.
Wow. Okay.
I remember I sent it to my assistant. I said,
Uh-huh.
I'm done.
All right.
Go finish it. It's your turn now. I
Uh-huh.
spent 3 days working on this. Now help me do
Uh-huh.
this and this and that. It was like,
Right.
you're done already? I'm like, I think so.
Mm.
There's a lot of energy in there, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the process that I utilized in all of my 7 areas.
Okay.
I affirmed everything. I am happy. I am positive. I
Mm.
am successful. I am determined. I am emotionally intelligent. I do take care of myself. I am self care. I am self reliant. I have accountability. Everything has been an affirmation for me. Every single thing, from the relationships that
Mm-hmm.
I've attracted into my life,
Mm.
romantic relationships, business relationships, everything.
For sure.
Every single thing. I have not received anything that I have not asked for. And maybe you don't remember when you have asked for those things, but when you sit back and you retrospect and you really think, be like, no, I really put this energy out here like that.
All right.
You know, whether it was good or bad.
Right.
Just accountability, because nothing that happens to you after you have full awareness, now nothing is outside of your control. That's the thing about becoming aware and being enlightened.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like everything is your fault now. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
When you wasn't aware, you get away with it because you didn't even know what you was doing, right?
Yep.
You didn't even know that you had this magnetism and this control.
Yeah.
But now when you become aware,
Mm-hmm.
is that no one gives you a break
Right.
because you super know better.
Right. Woo. Super know better. Y'all hear that? Oh man. So what's next for Anna? What you got going on?
What am I thinking about? I want to do more public speaking,
Okay.
you know. But even that, I need to sit down and think about, where do I want to go with that? Do I want to do it more for the teenagers? Do I want to do it more for adults? You know, and how do I want to do it?
Yeah.
You know, something that I've learned about life is not to be in a rush. I think everybody want to be successful right now. Everybody want to do everything right now. Everybody's just such a rush. Oh, you have to do it. No,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just learn yourself and experience it.
Yeah.
You know, when I attach money, making money from what I love to do, it kills it for me.
Got you.
It
Mm-hmm.
kills it for me. I don't want to do it anymore. Because I
Right.
don't do this for money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't do this for money. I didn't start doing it for money.
Yeah.
I don't help people for money. I don't come on Facebook for money. Like,
Yeah.
even though that's what we're supposed to be doing it for, but that's not what I'm doing it for. I do it because I genuinely feel it's the sharing.
Yeah.
A lot of times I don't even want to share. I'm like, I don't want to talk to these humans.
Right. Yeah.
But
Uh,
it's like it's something. Like someone told me, no matter how many times you've tried, I've known you for 4 or 5 years. No matter how many times you try to walk away from this thing, you come back to it.
okay.
Like, I'm done with this. I don't want to speak to nobody.
Right.
I don't want to coach nobody else.
Right.
These people don't want to learn.
Right.
Then I come back. Well, I got an idea. They're like, I thought you were done. I can never be done with this. It's not going to be done until I'm dead.
Yeah, when you got that passion for it, that's
You
it.
know, so that's
Yeah.
why, you know, I'm in a space in which just create money elsewhere.
Yeah.
Create that financial flow elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just super in this energy and I'm enjoying it and I'm doing it, I'm doing it, I'm doing it without the burden of, oh, this has to generate money in order for me to live.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I just want to do it because I love it. And that's what it is. I love it. And I love, you know, giving it to people that really, really like it and really, really love it.
Right, for sure.
You know, because there's a lot of people out there that are receptive to
Yeah.
this information, very receptive, and they want to listen, they want to talk, they want the leadership,
Mm-hmm.
they want the guidance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I just give it to those. You know, don't force feed anyone.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised. Like, a lot of the stuff, a lot of people come in my inbox and tell me, like, oh my God, and I'll be like, oh, okay, I guess I gotta keep doing it. Can't stop.
Right.
You know? So a lot of people that buy my book that I don't know, that have my book. Because
Mhm.
Amazon pays me every month.
Yeah.
So people buying it.
Right.
I just don't know who.
Right.
Unless I tell them, like, oh, let me get a picture. Unless I tell them, like, physically, oh, let me get a picture.
Yeah.
People don't send pictures.
Nah.
You know? So I'm like, I know my book is out there. A lot more than I know. I just don't know who it is.
Right. Facts.
You know? So that's just what it is for me. As long as the people are getting in, the people are growing from it, And then from time to time, I hear how much I've impacted their life and how much they have grown by listening to the stuff that I share. That's all that matters to me. I think there's a lot of people right now talking about finance. There's a lot of people right now talking about credit and stuff like that. I want to talk about that. Yeah, that's part of life. But me, my passion, my where I like is mindset, is emotional intelligence. Is how do you even structure yourself before you even start thinking about those things? You know, because it's like we put so much pressure on people that they don't even understand business. They don't even understand finance.
Yeah.
And then you want them again to give you money for something that they don't even understand in themselves.
Right.
And now when they fail because they haven't structured themselves to even learn how to take in information again. So there's a process that you have to go through before you even start thinking about entrepreneurship. There's a process that you have to go through of getting your mind in order and getting your emotions in order. Because when you start building these things, you need a lot of patience.
You do. Yeah.
You need a lot of emotional intelligence.
Right. Yeah.
Because you might be thinking something's going to sell. You put all this work into something. And not one person buys it.
Right. Right.
Why?
Right. Yeah.
And that happens.
It do. It do.
That happens. You know, that's why I heard somebody saying the other day, work on building an audience first. And then give them a product.
There you go.
Which makes sense. We want to build the product and then sell it. Ain't nobody looking at us.
Right. Right. Facts.
So let's learn how to create attention first. You know?
Right.
However you're gonna create it, because everybody has a thing that's different.
For sure.
You know, like my one friend says, like we're gonna get in the attention, whether it's positive or negative. Then you sell them.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. That's why in showbiz there's no bad press.
Right.
Press is press.
Right. Good or bad.
You know.
Right.
That's what's going on over here with Dave Chappelle now.
Right.
So funny.
Oh man, I watched it yesterday and
it's so funny. Listen, he said some stuff on there that it was so raw that I was like,
right.
But it was hilarious. Like it was at one point, it was just so honest that it wasn't even funny at one point.
Right.
It was more like, I feel him, like seriously. And when you really take your emotions and your offense and everything, but the man has a clear message.
Yeah, when you put it aside, it's like, man, he talking life.
Clear message, like I don't hate you people.
Right.
But y'all motherfucker be going too hard.
Right.
And can't nobody say nothing.
Right.
That's too much. Can't nobody express their feelings and the emotions about something. Like everybody else can express their feelings and emotions about that. You cannot say anything about these people.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's ridiculous.
Right.
It's utterly ridiculous. That's why I'm glad the guy from Netflix is doing that.
Yeah.
Somebody will have to stop this nonsense.
Yeah, for sure.
Stop. The moment somebody says something about this group, cancel. Get him off.
Yeah.
So you guys are the only ones that are supposed to be super expressive.
Right.
And just dump everything on everybody, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
We don't want it in front of our children. You're going to put it in cartoons anyways.
Right.
We don't want it in front of our children. You're going to bring them to school anyways.
Right.
Like you can just say anyway to everyone, but nobody can have an opinion about you. It's not cool. It's not fair.
No, it's not. It's not.
You know, that's the whole thing that's my own opinion about that whole thing.
Yeah.
I can't nobody say anything about y'all, but y'all so expressive about yourselves.
Yeah.
And everybody just has to take it and everybody just has to understand it because yes. No.
Right.
And the moment somebody expresses a dislike, we're haters. We're mean people.
Right.
Why do we have to be haters and mean people when we stand for natural femininity?
True.
That gender is a fact.
Yeah.
A fact can be proven, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's what a fact is.
Right.
Everybody's born either male or female. Stop with this other nonsense that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
That you're trying to create here on Earth. Like, Earthlings do so many things to create confusion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, it's a fact that you're either born a girl or a boy. That's it. Everything else is us manipulating everything.
Right. Facts. You told us.
Yeah, and and that's what business is. Like, you think that man is gonna take Dave Chappelle out of his platform when he just made so much money?
That man.
Off Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
And then people want to stand on something so silly that, oh yeah, getting fired. Now we're only gonna have heterosexual people working here since y'all all got a problem with this.
Yeah.
Then that's gonna become another thing, right?
Right.
Like business is business and comedy. Comedy is one of the gruesomes.
Yeah.
One of the most gruesome fields.
Woo. Yeah.
It's raw. Like, how do you censor comedy?
Right. No censor. You can't have soft skin. You can't.
You can't censor comedy. Comedy is comedy. Comedy is like jaw-dropping truth. Like,
yeah. Right. And it's been around forever. Like, this is nothing.
Forever. Yeah. You know, and it's like, no, we're not canceling nobody because they're being funny.
Right. Right.
It's just ridiculous.
Right. That's funny.
You know, a lot of the stuff that we're doing right now is just like ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, even the way that we instill in each other also to like just this entrepreneurship. Like, I just think this entrepreneurship became like a fad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like everybody wants to do it, everybody want to do it.
Yeah.
But nobody really is building themselves up to really be
like
successful entrepreneurs, you know, understanding what it is to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
You know, I think having a job is good for people because it gives them structure.
I say that all the time.
It gives them structure, makes them get up at a certain time. It makes them work. It makes them come home. It makes them go to sleep. Shit. To be an entrepreneur, you have a lot of free time, a bunch of stuff. Like, what am I supposed to do? You start doing a whole bunch of nonsense. There's no structure. You choosing to get up at whatever time you want to get up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was like, oh, this entrepreneurship stuff got me doing a bunch of nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like it was like harder now to like get structured, to like get up early, and
right.
So I'm like, you know, a job is not so bad.
Yeah, I tell
it gives you that discipline.
Yeah, that discipline. Everybody should experience that, you know, because how you gonna even just say you have a company, how you gonna even be able to know how to structure it? Like, you can model your business after your job. It's right there. There goes the blueprint right there.
And something that somebody told me was just like, you know, don't feel bad about the fact that you have to work a job. Just use your job to fund your business.
Facts.
Whatever your business is going to be, because you're going to need funds. You're going to need money to build this business. That's what people don't tell you about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Oh, you can start with $500. It depends on what type of business it is.
Yeah. And you better hope that $500 make
exactly. It depends what type of business it is. Not all business.
Right.
You know, they don't tell you, depending on whichever state, you're going to have to register this business, and then you're going to have to pay another fee, and you're going to have to pay for maintenance for your website, and then you're going to have to pay for this and this and that. All this.
You will see that $500.
Then you have to build business credit, and then you have to have your personal credit intact, and then you have to know how to take out loans. You have to know how to.
It's a lot.
Boy. I remember I said this year, I was like, man, every time I learn one thing, I got to learn another.
Yep.
I'm tired.
Trademarking, copywriting, all type of stuff.
Oh my goodness! Like the moment you learn something, it's like it's something else for that learning. Like, I thought I was done.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
More learning. Yeah. And more learning.
Right.
More learning.
Right.
Like, I don't...
Yeah, you make a bunch of mistakes before you get it all the way right. You know.
And it's like the learning is never over.
Yeah.
Because you're tapping into these things that you're not familiar with.
Right. Yep.
You're not familiar with it, you know? So you're always going to stay in a constant of always learning, whether you're making mistakes or whether you're picking up books to actually learn the information.
Right.
You're always going to have to learn, because that's just the process of life. Even people that say that they're born into richness and they're wealthy, right? Mm-hmm. Even those people have to learn.
Yeah, for sure.
Because for them to be able to be passed down the wealth, they have to learn how to run this business that they're being passed down.
Yep. Yeah. And they don't come out.
They just don't know when they come out of the womb how to run the business.
Right.
They have to be taught those things.
You do.
But since they get it since the beginning, from very early, they know those things.
Right.
Because it happens from the beginning. That's why at 12 years old, you see a Jewish boy running the store.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Because of the culture. They're considered already a man at 13, 14. I don't know how early. And from the beginning of time, they go there. Mm-hmm. They see this. They learn this.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So it's like it's inevitable.
Right.
If you keep instilling this information in a person, that's what they're gonna put out. That's just how we function. That's how our system functions. Whatever information is put into us, that's what we're gonna put out.
Facts. Facts. I want to thank you, Miss Anna, and man, this was definitely a good show. I told you I was gonna bring y'all another resource. I try to do it every other week, but I'm really picking through people now because I want y'all to really get something out of these shows. And Anna, she definitely snapped. I knew she was on Snap, but it's all good. You tell everybody where to find you if they want to connect with you.
You can find me on Facebook with my name, Ana Kevin Reyes. You can find me on Instagram with my name, Ana Kevin Reyes. You can find me on my website with my name, Ana Kevin Reyes. Everything is my name. On Amazon, right. Ana Kevin Reyes. And, just come listen, and it's a sharing. That's what I call it. It's a sharing, of life experiences and life process. We all live in this world. We all live in the same world. And what changes our experiences is the societies that we are born into and the families that we are born into. That's what makes us different.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
We are pretty much living on the same earth. And we are all to teach one another based on what we master.
Yeah.
Right? Because we are all mastering different things. Like I listen to certain people that I watch them grow through social media. They have master taxes. They have master, life insurance and all stuff. So I listen to those people about that.
Yeah.
When I want to listen to moon cycles and stuff like that, I listen to this one girl that I listen to about that.
Yeah.
When I want to listen to about sales and this, I have specific people that I listen for specific things.
For sure.
Because they have shown that they have mastered that.
Yeah.
And you listen and then you apply it to your life to the best of your ability. And nothing is going to happen for you the same way that it happened for them.
Right.
It's two totally different stories.
Right.
You may tap into something that you just may not like.
Yeah.
You just got to go and tap into something else.
Right.
But that's just the process of life. Life is just sharing, development, learning, and becoming.
Right.
The best that you can possibly be in mind and soul and business and money and everything. It's a matter of just becoming better.
Right.
From where you come from.
For sure.
Right.
For sure. All right. I'm gonna call you Miss Conscious Creator.
Yes.
Right. This was a good one. I want to thank you again, and make sure y'all tap in with Miss Anna, and we'll be seeing some more of her.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
I'm a little quiet now,
Yeah.
Just observing, putting myself together, but.
Right. Facts. All right, good people.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. My pleasure. Thank you. All right.
Bye-bye.
All right.